Hello, this is the True Mike Brown, and I'm going to be playing a solo game of The Perfect Moment tonight. The Perfect Moment is a time travel game, and it is going to be on Kickstarter September 19th. Button Shy Games is publishing it, so I thought that I would just show you how it's played. So the solo game, you have an opponent, and your opponent has 2 equipment cards, just like in the normal game. However, your opponent, during his turn, is going to just score cards and do a minimal amount of manipulation of the board, so you don't really have to keep track of what he does, except, to know he's going to be scoring cards based on the paradox. Now, the paradox is the thing that went wrong with the time stream, and through the game, you're going to fix this problem by matching up symbols. So see, he has a wallet card over here, and here's a wallet on the paradox, so he could score this card for 1 point, or if he were a human player, he could score it for 1 point. The AI scores for higher points than the human does. So this is the thing that's wrong that everyone's trying to fix, and each person also has in their hand a secret objective which they are trying to fix. They're just trying to modify the time stream to be in their advantage. And every time you fix this problem, a new one will come up, and that continues to happen until the game ends. So I'm going to take my turn first. So during my turn, I can activate 2 abilities. So I can either activate flowers, gun, armor, tickets, anything that's facing me. Also keys, because of the paradox, everyone gets access to the ability that's facing the deck. Okay, and I could either score this card or score this card at the end of my turn after activating the 2 abilities. So let's first see what I've got access to. I could stack the deck using tickets. I could use flowers to swap my card out for a different card. So I could put this card here and then put this card into my hand, which that's fairly powerful, especially since ring, poetry, candy, and flowers are all of the red abilities, so I'd have access to every red icon. So that means anytime a red card came up, I'd be able to score it for 2 or more points. Whereas with only 1 red card, I can only score them for 1 point. So I should probably get this card down during the turn, but I should also worry about what my opponent is going to do. So let us first use tickets to stack the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. You look at 4 cards and then return them in any order. So he has a blue card, so I don't want blue cards on the top because he could score those for higher points. I have red cards, so I'm putting red cards on the top, and that forces him to draw the red cards when he draws cards. Oh, also, I should consider which order I'm putting them. Candy, flowers, candy, poetry, flowers, ring. When I put this card down, I'm going to want to orient it so poetry is facing me. So flowers, poetry, or ring, candy. Candy, ring, flowers, poetry. Well, it's going to be slightly worse. Oh, but I could rotate this card around. Okay, we'll do it. Okay, so now I've stacked the deck, and that was my first action. My second action is I'm going to use flowers. Up to 2 times swap an equipped card with your vision. So first I'm going to swap this card with that, and then I'm going to swap this card with that, and when I do that, I'm going to rotate this card because, when it was in my hand, I could have rotated it in any orientation. So there. Now I've set up this so that I can score big when those cards come up. This card in my hand is sort of useless right now. My first scoring is actually a wash because I have no icons that match either of these cards, but that's okay. This is just turn 1 of the game. Now it's my opponent's turn. Wallet's ticket. He can match this wallet with that wallet. And when you're scoring for a AI, if he matches an icon, he scores the paradox for 3 points. So he scores that for 3 points and draws a new paradox. And I can now score this for 3 points when it's my turn. So he just got way more points than me on his first turn, but I can catch back up to him at least. So he's happy, he's done, now it's my turn. I'm going to start by activating up to 2 abilities. Well, usually a good move is to stack the deck against your opponent, and then also, try to get a good card into your revision so you can score when you're ready. So I'm going to activate tickets and stack the deck. Oh wow, so many blue cards coming up. Disguise, armor, armor. So all of these cards he could score for 3 points if they came up. I need to buy some time. There needs to be a way that I can put a card down and discard it. Draw 2 cards, equip 1, discard the other, return equipped card. None of these abilities are really good for me. Okay, I'm going to put it back in the same order with the red one on top. Now I normally would use poetry to draw that red card into my hand, but I also have a blue card. He's got that blue card, which means he could score this for 2 points or any of those for 3 points, except that red one. So I want that red one to go into his hand, if possible. Now this red card here, I could score for 3 points right now, but if I did, then this card would come up next. Actually, that would be okay. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm not going to activate poetry. I don't have to activate a second ability, so I'm just going to cut straight to the scoring phase. I'm going to score this for 3 points, and then the next card replaces it, and my turn is over. It's my opponent's turn, and he matches no icons. So now he's going to score his hand card for 1 point, comes face up, and then he will draw a hand card to replace it. And then, whenever he fails to score for 3 points or more, he modifies his cards in play. He doesn't activate abilities, he just takes the card with the lowest number in the center. See how this has 18 and that has 11 in the center? He takes the card with the lowest number, discards it at the bottom of the deck, and draws a new card to replace it. Okay, so as long as this red card stays up here, I can block him from scoring large amounts of points unless he happens to draw a card that is red. So right now, this is the only thing saving me from him scoring for 3 points every turn. Now he'll be continuously modifying his cards, most likely this one, because an 18 is a pretty high number. Actually, it's the highest number, so he'll always be swapping this card out, which means I can never trust what that card's going to be, but as long as I can keep this here, I can keep him scoring 1 point a turn. So then as long as I can keep higher than 1 point a turn, I will win the game. Okay, so let's do this. Now it's my turn. I'm going to activate tickets, and I'm going to look at the top 4 cards of the deck. I need to pull up red cards that I can use, push down blue or yellow cards that he can use. So let's do it like that. Poetry, flowers, candy, ring. Flowers, ring, poetry, candy. I've got all my cards in the wrong order. So I'll be only scoring for 2 points. However, I guess that's not the worst thing that can happen. And this card is sort of useless, but I can score this card for 3 points because the top card is red, so we'll replace it with a red card. So that was my tickets. I'm not going to use poetry because I want to keep these red cards on the top in such a manner that they just keep blocking this. So here goes. I'm going to score that card, flowers, ring. I match up both icons on it. See, flowers on the right, ring on the left, so I can score it for 3. And then we flip up the next card. Whoops. And it's his turn. Now, he matches no icons, nor does he match the color, so he's going to score for 1 point. And then he draws a new card for his hand. That's my other red card. That'll be interesting when he scores that. I can steal the points from him. So it's my turn again. And I'm going to use his tickets again to stack the deck. It's great to have access to tickets. A human would not let you repeatedly stack the deck like this. So there are benefits of playing a game against a human. Crap. Well, I'm out of luck because I can't score any more of these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are actually all the red cards in the game. So let's start working on pivoting to a different color. So halfway through a game, usually you'll have to pivot to a different color. Because once all the red cards run out, you can't score any red cards anymore. So let's see, how do we do this? There's a scramble that will be involved. None of these cards are awesome. I want to play a card and activate it if possible. Well, let's use Phone. Phone is a great pivot card because it lets you discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards. Poetry is also a good one that lets you draw 2 cards and return 2 cards. Poetry is probably a better pivot. And then if I can figure out a way to get my red card back on top, then he won't be able to score, at least on that last moment when I start swapping. Let's put cards that have phones on it. Phones are great. Okay, so now I'm done with that, and I'm done with these 2. I'm gonna score. Should I score that? Now this is where I have to think. One of their items facing them. I need to activate that map over there. So I'm going to activate Armor. An opponent may score their revision for 1 point. There you go. Activate one of their items facing them 2 times. So I'm going to activate that map. Rotate 1 or 2 of your equipment cards. And I can do it up to 4 times. I'm going to just keep rotating these cards all the time. So let's rotate this once. And then a second time. And then now I'm activating map again and rotating it a 3rd time. There you go. I got away with just 1 rotation by rotating it so many times. Okay. Oh, and after he scored that, he draws a new revision card. Okay. So now, done with my turn, I'm going to score this candy ring for 3 points. And now he's unleashed. He can do whatever he wants to. He's going to score big, but hopefully I got ahead far enough because I have 9 points right now. Oh, the game ends at 16 points or when the deck runs out, whichever comes first. Okay, so it is now the opponent's turn. He matches Wallet, which means he can score this for 3 points. Just by matching 1 icon, he scores for 3 points. And then he doesn't do anything to his cards because he's happy he's scoring points. So right now we're tied on points. And Gun Armor comes up. And I have to do the quick pivot to the other color. But before I do that, I actually just want to take a turn to stack the deck. Oh, nope, that would end the game because there are only 3 cards left in that deck. Okay, I'm not going to stack the deck. I'm going to steal 1 of his points because I have Flowers and Poetry. He did a poor job of fixing this problem with the time stream. I have the right equipment. I can fix it fully. So I'm going to just flip that card over and score for 3 points because I matched both icons on the same side of my card. Okay, so now it is his turn. I've got 12 points. And Gun Armor. He matches it and scores for 3. So he's got 11 points. So if I end the game now, I will win because I'm 1 point ahead of him. So all I have to do is end the game. And if I can draw 3 cards, there's only 2 cards in the deck that would end the game. So tickets. I activate tickets, draw these 2 cards, I try to draw a 3rd, can't draw, the game ends. Whoever has the most points wins. Which 12 to 11. It was pretty close. I got ahead enough that by the time that he unlocked his ability to do whatever he wanted to, it was too late. I had already set up a win for myself. So that was actually a pretty enjoyable ending to the game, winning by exactly 1 point. And I made the AI not very intelligent, but at the rate which it scores, it makes the game still very tense sometimes. Now, playing against a human, they're way more intelligent, but they score at the same speed that you do. So it ends up being more of a, oh, well, I have to stack the deck in my favor and I have to try to score points, and then when am I going to switch over to a different color? This game, with all the 1-point cards that he was scoring, there wasn't even time to pivot to a different color. But usually, your opponent will not let you score 4 cards of the same color. They'll stop you from doing it, because anytime they have the chance to discard a card, they put it on the bottom of the deck, and then suddenly you're never going to get that last red card. So it forces you to pivot before the game end. Anyway, so I think that this is a fun game. This is a game that I will play, even though I've played hundreds of games, because I've been playtesting it all this time. I still enjoy playing it because, it allows you to come up with good strategy in a really small package. Like, Button Shy Games only makes 18 card games, and that means the game is like $10 or something like that when it's sold. So I hope that you sign up to get information regarding the Kickstarter. I have got a Facebook page set up, which is The Perfect Moment. If you just probably you saw this post or this YouTube video from a place where you can find my Facebook page and you can sign up. Anyway, thanks for watching.